Grounding, being still, transition. Let your nervous system register the ease of the hands resting on the legs, so that gives us a sense of support. And then feel where you touch the earth. Close your eyes. Let your brain find your breath, creating sound with the breath through the nose. Just let the breath be free and express itself, but trying to clear out your breathing spaces. And then turn your hands over so your hands are facing upward. Just feel that different energy. Just be present with the energy of each form. If you need to adjust, you're not stuck, you can adjust. Draw your thumb and index fingers together. That represents non-separateness. I think I must have not clicked the mute button, so bear with me for a moment, please. Dhyana Mudra, representing non-separateness, individual and universal as one. Continuing to practice being still, finding breath. And then take one of your hands to your heart center with the same gesture. Just rest whichever hand is most comfortable there. Stay soft, stay easy, and let your mind and heart come together, and you may add any personal intentions or dedications. Just say hello to your true self. Everything you need is already inside of you. Let another breath flow through. Gently energize the breath. And exhale, draw your navel towards your spine, release your hands, and rub your hands together a little bit, create a little energy. And then be still and pull the hands slowly apart so you'll feel their energy, their warmth, their vibration. And then let them come fingertips to the center of the forehead. Sitting tall, draw your navel towards your spine. Now support your core. Sweep across your forehead and down your chin. Palms back together. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And over to a nice easy side bend on the right. Just place your hand on the earth, bend your elbow a little bit. Other arm like a dancer, shoulder down, graceful reach across. Your hip can reach towards the earth to help create that lengthening in the left side body. Let your head turn down towards the floor and maybe a little back. Please get your compassionate attitude in place if it's not already. Remember your practice, your body. Please take care of yourself. Breathe out once more. Come up a little bit slowly from side bending. Just give your low back a chance to release gently. Other side, shoulder down, reach the arm. Just let the hand and arm kind of circle over your head. And your other elbow bending to any degree so you create your own perfect version of the pose for this moment, for yourself. Gently exploring, curious attitude towards it all. One more breath out. Inhale, slowly draw up. Back to heart lifting pose. Fingers forward, elbows bend and hug towards each other. And then we'll uncross your feet, toes down to start. Pose variation. Spreading across your heart, then looking down towards your toes. Keep your gaze downward as you lift up your legs if that works, or keep your toes on the floor, or catch your legs, whatever you need to do. One more breath. So lift out your shoulders and bring your feet down together, knees wide, arms through the center, palms press, Malasana. Forward fold, calm, gently spreading the kidney area and the inner legs. Gently trying to ground your inner feet. Close your eyes, one more breath. Just let the brain relax into the moment. So creating that sound in the throat as we move into our Ujjayi breathing. Release yourself up and to your back, so you can rock back by rounding and tucking your chin. Bring in your knees. Curl your head towards your knees. Just stretch out the back of your head and neck. And then bring your head and feet to the earth into bridge pose. Warming up with our hip warming up first. Finding center around your arms. Make sure your head is centered. Your spine has enough space. Feel each of your feet. And inhale, press into your feet, lifting up. Just nice and easy. This first one, we'll do 3. So adjust once you're up. Make sure your spine has enough room. You might slide your head away from your feet. Plenty of space to lengthen your spine. Strengthening around your hip joints. And warming up the big muscles of the legs. Relax what you can. Fingers, face, soft. Breathe in once more. Just keep it like it is. Slowly come down, just bringing the vertebrae to the floor one at a time, if possible. Feel your pelvis land on your sacrum. Second time, begin with an in-breath. Exhale, draw your navel strongly towards your spine. And then lift up. Try to keep awareness of Uddiyana Bandha, navel towards the spine energy. It's connected to the pelvic floor, so you might get some of that Muladhara action as well, but just focus on your bandhas this time. How you find support deeply within. Concentrate on those subtle awarenesses. One more time, use the exhale to reinforce the navel towards the spine. Breathe in again and then come down. Try to keep the engagement navel to the spine until you come all the way out, and then let it all go soft. Take a breath, soft. Exhale, a little navel to the spine, not focusing on that, but adding it in so you come up and add a little bit of fire to your pose, a little bit of power, lift a little higher, press your feet, and then add some tail tucking energy just to find space. So it might just be an idea, but just thinking about tucking your tail, see if you find a little more space. 3 more breaths. Last one, energize and exhale, relax and release. Just let your muscles relax in your legs as you come down. And once again, bring in your knees. Take a few breaths, stretching out, grounding your back. Once more. Coming up to seated. Press your ankles, hold your shins, hold on and rock your way up. And then place down your hands and bring your knees back. Coming to quarter dog pose, tucking under your toes. Mindfully and going back carefully to any degree. So you can sit all the way down or part way. Let your arms go a little wider than your shoulders. Palms spread, head goes down.
Relax and enjoy your breathing. Enjoy the grounding of your third eye center. Be with the energy of each form. Breathe out one more time.
Elbows down and bring them in line with your shoulders. Come up to cow spine. So you release your feet. Strong tummy, just a little bit of heart forward. The low back is flat. Core pose. Fourth breath. Impermanent. Inhale up to cat spine on the fingertips. Round your spine. Head and tail down. So you really get to work that tail tuck energy in a literal way here. Deep breathing. One more time. And exhale, hands down and spreading. Tuck your toes. Inhale, lift up, downward facing dog. First one. Refinements. Find your way in. Try to create evenness and let your head hang down. Remember to bend your knees as needed. So really just the right amount of lengthening in the backs of the legs so that everything feels okay. This is letting the legs bend, lets you focus on the spinal length. Press into your hands. Feel the energy of your palms. Rise up your arms to your shoulders. And in this last breath, see what you can relax. Your bones have got you, your belly's got you. Exhale, soft. Bend your knees, bring your head between your hands and walk forward. Stretch into half lift, inhale. Spread your feet, exhale, forward fold. Slowly find your way into your position. And remembering to stand up using your legs, you can bend your knees, press your feet, rise up, reach up your arms, and exhale, slowly float them down by your sides. Stand up tall and relaxed. Roll your shoulders up and back a few times. Let your arms follow. Good. Trying to settle into nice shoulders where they belong. Above your hips, arms easy. Cross your right leg in front of your left. Take your hands to your pelvis and guide yourself into forward fold. Knees can bend. Go just as far as it feels good. It could be more like a bow. And if you'd like to release your arms and hold your elbows, you may. Whenever we're folding forward, we're drawing the navel up into the body, towards the spine. One more breath on this side. Inhale, come up. And you can uncross whichever way you like, whichever leg is easier for you to release out. So coming to the other side, cross over. Your brain says, that's interesting. And then guide yourself into forward fold. Continues to be interesting. Cut your elbows the opposite way or keep your hands at your pelvis if that feels more secure. Stretching along the back of your body, let your arms hang. Fourth breath. One more. Inhale, rise up. And then uncross using either foot. You can take your leg from behind or uncross from the foot. Lotus lift into our sun salutation. So the lotus is the outer fingers touch, the thumb and pinky, and the other fingers spread wide. So we lift it up to the sky, rising up onto the balls of your feet if you can, or just reach up your arms slowly. No mud, no lotus. Just get your toes down in the mud and reach to the sun. Inhale once more. And let your feet come down. Exhale, forward folding, moving into our Surya Namaskar.
Half lift, inhale. Exhale, spread hands, bend knees, go back. Inhale, 5 breaths, upward dog. So knees down. Add a little tail tuck. Nose gaze. Lift the whole rib cage. Press the earth away. One more time. Exhale to tabletop. And back to quarter dog again. With or without the toe tuck, yogi's choice. Deep breathe into your back body. When we compress the front body, the breath naturally finds the back. Inhale, draw into cow spine on your hands and knees. Exhale, cat spine. Inhale, slowly cow. Straight back, heart a little forward. Exhale, cat. Once more, cow. And let your gaze find your navel or in that direction as you come to down dog. Spreading hands to press the earth. And take one more breath. Bend your knees deeply and look between your thumbs, and then bring your legs straight to step forward and half lift. Slowly exhale. Inhale to stand up and reach up. Breath and movement matching. Exhale. Excuse me, releasing down to your mountain. Turn your palms out to the sides and inhale a great big sweep up to the sky. Lift your gaze as well. Stretch, reach, slowly forward fold as you breathe out. So you've got this one project, one exhale. One inhale to half lift. Exhale, step one leg back to Anjaneyasana. You can do either side first. So come up to low lunge. Shoulders down, draw your knee towards your toes. Maybe a little tail tuck here, so back bend. And if you want to take your hands to the floor or the sky or leave them on your knee, all good. 1. Downward gaze or upward gaze. 1 more breath. Release to center and Hanuman's pose, stretching out the front leg. Draw back the toes and forward fold. Let your hands come down, bow in, draw the belly back. Then adding a lateral move by reaching your right arm across. So both arms just find a comfortable side reaching position. Head is neutral, downward facing. Drawing back on your toes, like you're pointing with your ball of your foot, pushing with the ball of your foot. 1 more breath. Exhale, stay. Inhale, bend your knee to release your leg back. Spread hands, slide them away from you, upward dog. Knees down or lifted, roll your shoulders back. Engage Mula Bandha. Exhale to table or right back into downward dog. So you can transition through table if that serves your body well. Little refinements in the hands can make a big difference sometimes. 1 more breath. What can you relax? Your toes, your face. Belly up so you can step your other leg forward. Second side Anjaneyasana pose, shoulders roll down and back. Knee towards the toes, Just find that first, and then stay center, go low, or reach up, whichever you'd like to do. Maybe do the same that you did on the other side. Mindful that the shoulders are down off the ears, that the low back has a little bit of an aponic form, tail tucking. 3. Work where it's challenging, but not too much. Exhale, and then press to come to center. Come to your heel, draw back your toes, fold forward. Use your back foot here to help you balance. Ground it. Coming down, bowing in. Nice and easy. Reach your arm across from the opposite side. Place your hands comfortably in that direction and keep your face downwards so your neck is relaxed. 4th breath. Fifth breath. Exhale. Back to center, returning to standing. So inhale, press your back foot and half lift. Exhale, forward fold wherever your hands reach. Stand up, inhale. Rise, reach, float up your arms. And exhale, come down by your side slowly. Float them down. Land into your body, take a breath. Triangle pose to the right side, and I'm just going to add half moon pose to it. So if you have a block or you want to stand by a wall for triangle and half moon, so reach out your arms over and down, triangle pose. You can touch your leg with your hand or just keep your arm floating. Yogi's choice to stay in triangle, 5 more breaths, or to explore lifting the back leg for half moon pose. Just do your best. You can reach to the floor or use a support if you would like. Steady eyes. Just one more breath. Give it a try. Bend your knee and come down gently. Let it be. Turn around or change to the other side. Triangle first. Arms float. Breathe in. Over and down. So our hips are to the side. Floating your bottom hand or not. Belly center pose. Navel towards the spine. Radiate from your pranic center. 3rd breath. And 5th, navel towards the spine. Help you with your deep core. Half moon or stay in triangle, 5 more breaths. Touch the floor or block if you would like. Whatever gives you support. Little squeeze in your glutes to help lift your leg. So you got to give it 100% of your concentration. Trying to maintain these actions and stay balanced. Just 1 more breath. Remember to soften your knee to come down lightly. Let it be. Back onto your mat if you stepped off. Let's take warrior B with the right leg stepping back. So turn out to the side with the back toes, bend your front knee over your ankle. And reverse warrior to start. Arms can connect if you would like, or just reach back. Feel yourself ground into the pose. 1 more breath. And then changing to a lean and reach side angle pose. Shoulder off the ear so your neck is free. Turn your face towards your arm. Gently gather both hands or go to the floor with your bottom hand. Let your ribcage rotate towards the sky. Take 1 more breath. Inhale, come up. Keep your leg where it is. Warrior B, breathe. Exhale, release your arms, step out, and come to the front.
You can possibly see your footprint there from the other side, even on a really thick mat. Coming to the side facing warrior feet, side with the hips, head turns front. There's center. Inhale, up and back. Keep your shoulder down. Keep your gaze down. Counter gazing. When we go back, we look down. Breathe out once more. Breathe in, release warrior B, and lean and reach Utthita Parsvakonasana. Go ahead and add that rib cage rotation if you would like to. Towards the sky. Yoga brings us to a state of concentration, mindfulness. Breathe out. Inhale, warrior B, give it energy and reach. And exhale, let go. Return to your mountain top of the mat. And again, take your right leg back, straight legs this time, hips square to the front. Parsvottanasana, side pose. Arms out, thumbs down, roll them back, reach back. Bring your knuckles together or hold your elbows or work your hands together up your back. Stop where you need to stop with that. Next time you breathe out, fold forward slowly. Lead with your heart. Relax your head towards your leg. Once you're done, release any gripping that you might have engaged in your feet. Gently lift your elbows towards the sky. One more breath. Inhale, strong legs come up. And keep your arms as you come to warrior A. So bend your front knee, give yourself a little more space. Release the low in your pelvis. And then release your hands down and away from each other. Elbows wide, hands soft. Stretching gently across the heart. Both feet really wise. One more breath. Exhale it. Lean forward, press your back foot, come out, free breath. Being present with the energy of the practice. Second side, intense side stretching pose, Parsvottanasana. Roll your shoulders inward, reach back, come together. No straining, no pain. Work with yourself. Keep practicing. Keep your elbows a little lifted as you come forward. Release gripping in your feet once you're down. For one. Listen to your breath. Breath strong and steady, matching the effort of the pose. Once more, release your exhale. Inhale, energy helps us come up. Keep your arms, bend your front knee, create a little bit more space between your feet. Ground your pelvis, take a breath. Release your hands down and away. This time interlace and wide thumbs at your heart center. Just pull your fingers but don't let go. So you're stuck. They're good at catching each other, but pull to activate your heart. Steady in your lunge. One more deep breath. Exhale, release your arms, lean forward, press your foot and step out. Let be. Feet hip distance apart. Ready to leave our standing practice. Interlace, press forward, inhale. Exhale, press upward, shoulders down. Release your fingers away and let them catch at your back. Draw your hands down. Breathe in and breathe out, forward fold.
Arms can come away from the body or not. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale. Bring your arms back to your body. Bend your knees and release your hands down to the floor. Taking your legs back and coming down to your knees and your forearms. Creating side forearm plank. So take your right arm and swing it, the lower part, in towards the center of your mat and come over to that side. So you can stay with your knee down. You could be creative with your side, forearm side plank. I like staggering my feet, but you can stack them if you want the maximum. Reach up or support yourself. What do you need? 2, 3, determined breaths more. Once more. And carefully bring your hips down, changing sides for 5 breaths, other side. Lifting out of your shoulder. Be creative as you need to be to support yourself here. Arm up if possible for 1. Feel that strengthening along your whole side, in your core. And carefully come down, release to your belly. For super people, gathering your legs together, feet together, arms overhead. Breathe in, breathe out, squeeze your fists and draw your arms down towards your shoulders. So inhale, open, exhale, pull. Third one, pulling. One more time. And relax. Support your upper body. Lift your feet off the floor, bend your knees. So keep your upper body relaxing now. See if you can lift your knees off the floor. Just press your feet towards the sky for 5. One more breath. Exhale, knees down gently and roll to your right side, supporting your head. Find your balance for a moment. Take your hand to your low belly. And just feel that stillness beneath the breath and how that awareness helps you balance here. And then take your top arm and reach your palm facing down, catching your ankle or top of your foot from above. Taking 8 breaths here, perhaps drawing the heel towards the hip to begin. Just the right amount of effort and of sensation. Relax. And then press your foot gently into your hand to create that half bow shape, like dancer pose. Your lower leg grounds into the earth. Exhale once more. And uncatch your foot, let it go, and find the other side. Support your head. Hold your low belly center with your top hand for a moment to just ask for that engagement. And then when you are ready, bend your top knee, reach your hand, catch your ankle or foot, and use your hand to bring your heel towards your hip for 4. Carefully opening the front of the leg and hip and the shoulder and chest. And relaxing, feel the support of the earth. And then press your foot gently into your hand, create that opening of half bow. Ground your lower leg and your foot. Marvel at the intelligence of your foot, which is really what helps you ground your leg.
One more breath. Release back to center. Hands by your chest, press forward and down, but don't move your hands. So that just helps you get that energy to peel up your belly. Come back to wide child's pose. You may use your blanket support if you like some cushioning. You can roll it behind your legs or under your knees. And just come down the center to begin with. You can be sideways on your mat. We're going to be here for a little while, so check in before we add the rotation. It's okay, you can breathe. Just relax. And then going into a soft state for a yin pose. This is a yin position. Let the muscles go. Let the bandhas relax. Just be soft and still. And adding in the lateral movement, the threading needle, where you take your arm through and come to your shoulder and the side of your head. You can use your other hand for some support under your head or a blanket. Come into a place where you can stay comfortably, reasonably comfortably, and rest into that shape. The whole body is connected by a network of fascia. It's more part, I think we have more fascia than we have skin. So it's the largest organ. Everything is connected through it. So we gently compress our structures and give the fascia a chance to be hydrated, and the compression and then the releasing is what does that. Let's move the pose over to the other direction. With a moment in between, if you would like to get out of the child's pose for a moment, if it's intense or deep, maybe come on out, circle your hips a few times. Spontaneous release. And then into the other side as you're ready, sinking back, threading, everything going soft. Rest. Working with the winter season and spring season meridian lines in the body, kidney and liver. Just a week to the equinox. Let's unwind this pose after an exhale is complete. Come out and have that spontaneous release, maybe a downward dog or kneel and tabletop circle hips, whatever helps you release that compression. Just have a little chance for the body to move in a way that it wants to. And we'll go to seated from here. Bring your navel towards your spine, re-engaging bandhas. Come through and sit down. Take your legs out straight. So we've been looking at infinity pose. This is another variation of it where we're gonna come over to the left side of our body, just roll over to the side. Take your top leg and bring your foot to the floor on the other side of your straight leg. And let your arms bend as needed so you have a nice release of your side body. Looking back.
One more breath. Feel how everything is connected. And relax back to center. Other side. So your arms and hands kind of vary for each of us. So just support as you roll to the right side of your leg. And then place your left foot on the floor. And lift out of your shoulders. You can bend your arms more if you need to. Look back. I finally found the right place for my arms, so feeling free to keep doing that until you find where it works, especially trying something new. Just one more breath. And release back to center, bending your knees to the sides, bringing your feet together as close as they will come. Open up your feet like a book. So it's only the heels that need to stay together. And catch your fingers, weave, come across your toes, and this is our bind. Everything connects. Sit up tall, breathe in. Breathe out, chin towards the chest, straight arms and spine. Releasing tension in the inner legs, the upper back. Fifth breath. Exhale. And then inhale, release your chin. Coming to a version of easy pose, so cross the legs either way. The knees are up high. The arms come through with that same gesture, thumb and index finger together, reach through. And then press the shins into the arms, press the arms into the shins. I feel an activation in your upper back. So we're creating some tension here. Take one more deep breath. And exhale. Release that action. Take out your right leg straight. We're going to do a yin half dragonfly. Looks like Janu Sirsasana, but we let go of our muscular effort completely. Take some time coming out into that face towards the knee shape. You can support your head in any way, blanket, hands. Just let it be in a relaxed position. And stimulating the back of the body from the top of the head down, and then through the inner leg of the folded leg and out the top of the foot. So this whole line of connection, the bladder meridian. Everything resting. Just a bit longer. Coming up gently, letting go of that compression. Bring out your both legs straight for a moment. Staying in your yin and your soft side of your nature, and just physically soft. And come into that walk and fold out over your leg, keeping the leg relaxed. So in Janu Sirsasana, we activate the legs, we activate the bandhas. This is the same shape, but we just hold still and soft. And give it some time. Just about a minute. So in our yin practice, we would stay 3 to 5 minutes in each shape. You can rest your eyes. Probably already done a lot today, so letting yourself take some rest in the practice. Eyes and hands, hardworking. Brain, super hardworking. Just relax. Just a little bit longer. A little grateful, and then walking yourself out, letting your leg come out straight. Swing your fingers back and lean back into your arms. Just relax your legs all the way from the hips to the toes. Feel the energy. Gently lift your heart. One more breath. And coming to our backs for finishing practice, bring your props or clothing. It's a nice time to add clothing back if you want to. Have your blankets and things available. We're going to come down and do an inversion, remembering that it's not always appropriate if you have neck issues, if you've never tried it before in person with a teacher, unless you know you can do it. Shoulder stand is lovely, but not for everyone. So for everyone, we can do legs up in the air. One nice variation there is to let the hands rest on the thighs, elbows on the floor, so you have that support. And they also rest into each other for support. And we are using a little bit of core or a lot in shoulder stand. So stay active, stay in yang mentality. Really connect with your breath for this last part of our asana practice. Drop in. Your thoughts might have finally quieted down. Sometimes there's an underlying current of thought that just keeps running, and it's okay. Try to get into the bliss of the present moment. And make our way out of our inversion, coming down carefully from wherever you are. Keeping your right knee with your hands, let your left leg go out straight. And interlace just below the knee on the shin, and the weight of the arms draws the knee towards the chest. Lightly point both sets of toes. Five. Resting like a tree with your knee out to the side. Add some branches and take some deep breaths. Very much a living tree, just resting. One more breath, moving through in this position. And let your left hand catch your right knee and bring it across your body, roll to the side, knee down twist. Toes rest, so hook the top toes on your leg or go to the floor, whatever brings you that ease. And turn your head away, open across your chest, and relax. A little bit of core engagement protects your spine. Let the breath stretch deeply 2 more times. Go exploring with your breath. Last one. Exhale, easy back to center, knees in. Keep your left leg, reach out your right, point the toes in both sets. Just let your leg rest in towards your body. Exhale last time, maybe a little squeeze to create a little more depth. And then let your leg just rest open to the side. Your feet can both relax. And this time, arms overhead. Feel the energy of the pose. Fourth breath. So as you breathe out, you'll feel your ribs come down to help squeeze out the breath. And we want to keep that grounding in the ribs as we come out and twist. Hook your toes. Come across, turn your head, reach your arms. Relax, mostly. Little subtle core, that's all. Exhale for 3, 2 more breaths, make them nice and deep. Breathe into those deep spaces and then exhale, release tension once more. Back to center, taking rest. Press your feet to bring your sacrum down a little bit towards your heels. If you want to start with your feet together and your knees apart, you can do that. Or let the legs become straight. Check in with your upper body. If you want to reset your shoulder blades, lift your chest, press your arms and your head, and come back down. So we want a nice clean line of energy from the spine, nice and aligned so energy flows. Letting the breath continue to support as you rest. And now you very much go yin. Shavasana is a yin pose. Relax everything. Swallow to release your throat. If it helps you to engage your body to relax, you can try to activate your hands, your feet, your glutes, your face, your bandhas, and then exhale, let it all go, including the breath gushing out. And resting in the bliss created by the practice. The power of the breath, the movement of prana, and letting the prana be received into the body. Creating a sattvic quality to the mind. Just peaceful, gentle, open. Plenty of time and space. Just let your body rest. Let it feel grounded and light. Spacious between the ears.
Yoga teaches us to not attach, letting go of thoughts and feelings that create suffering. Practice. And you can experience a sense of relief, inner peace, and joyful well-being. And remembering that love is connected with grief and is not a source of suffering, although we can feel sadness, and it's natural to feel all of the things. Just let whatever comes up come up. And then you have your peaceful breathing and your peaceful body. If we will have the wisdom to survive, to stand like slow growing trees on a ruined place, renewing, enriching it, if we will make our seasons welcome here, asking not too much of earth or heaven, then a long time after we are dead, the lives of our lives prepare to live there, their houses strongly placed upon the valley sides, fields and gardens rich in the windows. The river will run clear as we will never know it, and over it, birdsong like a canopy. On the levels of the hills will be green meadows, stock bells in noon shade. On the steeps, where greed and ignorance cut down the old forest, an old forest will stand, its rich leaf fall drifting on its roots. The veins of forgotten springs will have opened. Families will be singing in the fields. In their voices, they will hear a music risen out of the ground. They will take nothing from the ground, they will not return, whatever the grief at parting. Memory, native to this valley, will spread over it like a grove, and memory will grow into legend, legend into song, song into sacrament. The abundance of this place, the songs of its people and its birds, will be health and wisdom and indwelling light. This is no paradisal dream. Its hardship is its possibility. Follow the next impulse of inhalation. Let it travel deeply inside. And follow the impulse of exhalation, letting go of the breath. Swallow, release your throat, and release your stillness. You can express yourself here, doing what feels nice as you move and shift your way back to your seat. Letting your spine once again register ease with your hands on your legs. Present with the quality of every form. Let your hands find each other and your heart center, lifting your elbows to increase the prana. And then hug your elbows down into your body, bow your forehead to your fingertips. Gratitude. You know, this practice is a part of you. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you. The poem is called A Vision. It's by